is Ryan Cameron Uncensored, and we had a legend in the building.
Yes.
So, can I start off like I want to?
Please. I got your back.
Growing up,
I got your back.
Who I wanted to be?
I got your back.
All right, Bootsy!
What you say? What you say?
Bootsy!
I can't hear you.
Bootsy!
Come on.
Bootsy!
Here's Bootsy.
Yeah, Bootsy Collins.
One time.
Why not take all of me?
Hey! How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, man. I'm just so blessed to be in the presence, and it's just a beautiful thing to be here in Atlanta.
Yeah.
With you brothers and, talking about the things that back in the day and where we at now.
Yeah, I mean, the whole, I wanted to be a star child. I wanted to, and just that whole vernacular. Like, if you said it like in a Bootsy, tone, you always knew it was going to be something,
Yeah, well, like we always come up off the street.
Right.
And, we know what to talk about,
right.
Because everybody talks,
Yeah.
And so we just happened to put that on record and, made it a little hilarious.
Right.
But at the same time, talking directly to the people. Because we know that without the people, we ain't got nothing to funk for.
Hey.
Yeah. And that's what we're trying to get across in this new record is, we can't do it alone. James Brown said, I need help.
Hey.
And there he is.
There it is. The Godfather.
So, I need help, and I always need help. We always need help, so we need to go on and jump in there and do that.
Right.
And that's what this record is geared toward.
Album of the year, #1 Funkster.
Yeah.
That's the new joint.
Yeah.
So with new hip hop and boots on the ground, the Southern Soul, why is funk still necessary? Because I saw you got Snoop Dogg and Wiz Khalifa on the joints.
I'm going to tell you why funk is still necessary. Because we all are funky.
That's right.
Simple.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it ain't just in music terms. Funk used to be a bad word. And when they said funk, that meant you was talking about us.
Right.
Back in the day. But now it's like, it's cool to be funky. So in those era changes, that's what brought about, you colored or you black. So that's where we at now. Which one are we? Are we funky or are we black?
Ooh. I choose to be funky.
So, but what I'm saying
you don't
is,
smell funky, that's
what I'm saying is that was a choice
Right.
we had to come up with.
Right.
James Brown said, say it loud. I'm black and I'm proud. And he wants you to be proud of that.
Yeah.
And that's what we have lost down the way. And that's what I think is coming back around. We're going to be proud of who we are and what we are and what we can achieve. And to me, that's what this record is all about. Telling you, giving you the okay, it's all right to be funky because that's who you are.
It is Ryan Cameron Uncensored. Bootsy Collins is in the studio. We can go, Bootzilla's here. See, we real fans, man.
Yeah.
Can you tell?
I can see that.
We are real fans.
Oh, man, and I appreciate that, too.
When you think about your body of work and when you're going out, I'm sure you're going to support this with a tour. You're going to go out on the road after you on the road doing more, like you're going to go international or you're going to go stateside? What is your plan?
Let me say this to you. The funk don't know where we going. No, seriously.
The funk
we
goes
never
where the
know.
wind goes.
We never know where we going. We can plan,
Right.
but you have to do the work first.
Okay.
So we did the work, we turn it in, and now the funk is gonna tell us where we're going. So I can't project that far. I'm only here right now.
Okay.
For the funk.
Here for the funk.
Okay, so I see you have your own style.
Yeah.
How did you create this signature look that has been able to really transcend time and generations?
It wasn't really about creating it. It's just a dream of how I wanted to look, and it built. I didn't know it was gonna, people were gonna start digging it. I didn't know that. They might have started laughing at it, But I didn't care because I was carrying the welfare bags and they laughed at me then. So I got used to it. Everybody was on welfare, and everybody was funky. So I wanted to be different. So I took that chance. I took that step. And that's what I'm saying to the young kids coming up. You got to take that step if you believe in yourself. So that's where we at.
So with time that has gone past and from then to 2025, what keeps you young enough in spirit and mind to be on the road? Because the road is grueling. The road is grueling. You know what I'm saying?
You ain't lying. But I surround myself with good vibes.
Okay.
Young people, good vibes, and everything that we talk about or everything that we do gotta help each other.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't in this just to help myself. I never been in it for that. I was always blessed when James Brown took me off the street. I found out that he's the baddest mother in the world, and the way he did that, he was hardcore. I wasn't never hardcore like that. I was hardcore lover, but I wasn't a hardcore businessman.
Right.
And I didn't want to be. But I ain't saying the kids shouldn't want to be businessmen, because they should want to be that. And it's going in that direction now, because after the P-Funk era, G-Funk came in. And that's when they started taking care of business.
Right.
That's
that whole Snoop and the whole
Exactly.
Wiz Khalifa, that whole G-Funk.
Exactly.
G-Funk era, yeah.
Yeah. So I respect them for that. But, we was all about just acting a fool.
Right.
Because, we was just growing up out of house parties and socials and, and street parties. I mean, we didn't know nothing about no business. We was giving joints away. We wasn't selling it, but that came in next. So, a lot of things I've seen already and I've been through. A lot of times you can see stuff, but you never go through it. You won't never know how to do it. You have to go through it.
Got to know through it, know how to do it.